We are here at Festival of Media LATAM 2018. We are on the Admetricks activational stand. It's been a busy morning so far. I'm with Felipe del Sol, who is the CEO and co-founder of Admetricks. Yep. Felipe, how has your morning been at the festival so far?
It's been good. A lot of people from LATAM, so it's good for our business since we are operating in 16 countries in Latin America. I have not seen the content, but good people going around and nice business opportunities for the future of our company. So that's great.
Okay, which is a bonus, right?
Yeah.
And alongside all of that, Admetricks is very much in the digital space. It is one of the newer breed of companies that's really making a mark in 16 territories across Latin America. One of the criticisms that's always been leveled at Latin America, and particularly for digital advertising, is a lack of transparency, and it's often referred to as being a bit like the Wild West. Do we think we've started to improve that in Latin America over the last 12 months?
We are trying to building, that's one of our purpose of our company, to build transparency. Since we are not an advertiser, we are not an agency, we are not a publisher, we just collect and give data to the benefit of everybody. So I believe that the thing of transparency, that is fraud is going on, is content piracy, is going all around the world. United States is more advanced since they are tackling the problem real tough. And LATAM is, as you say, it's a wild area. There's not much data of the region. The providers of the internet are not very good, so it's hard to get good quality data. And if you don't have the good quality data, there's a lot of space to bad people do bad stuff. So it's happening here, it's happening also in other places, but we are building the company, the main focus to bring the transparency to the online advertising market.
Which I think is fantastic, because at the moment, particularly when it comes to data and it comes to the insight and the research, there's like kind of one or two companies that provide it that have a kind of question mark over them, don't they, in terms of the validity of what they're trying to put out there?
Yeah, the thing is that these companies, Ibope or Nielsen, they're pretty old and they're very stayed on what they've done and they're not innovating a lot. So that gives the market want to have better data, but they're not innovating. So this gives us space for us, new companies, innovating and giving data. In this case, we provide data of online ad spend on all the region. So it's been good so far. We've been growing. So yeah, we are doing that.
And in terms of who your clients are you speaking to agencies? Are you speaking to advertisers? Is it a mix of both? And who's been more receptive?
Sure. So our main clients are publishers and agencies. We work with Publicis, all the region, Group M, all the region, Havas Media, a lot of countries, and also Universal McCann, the initiative group. And the publishers, we work with Discovery, Fox, some local TV channels in all over Latin America.
Oh, wow.
And they want to know what's going on in online advertisement, and we are the ones who are providing the data.
Right. And what are you finding the biggest challenges in not necessarily just your business sense, but in terms of getting people to understand how they need to be transparent and they need to avoid ad fraud?
Sure. The problem in the online space that everybody thinks you can measure everything. The thing is that the everything is way too big.
Right, yes.
So the everything is, you can measure correctly, but the everything is way too big to measure it. It costs you a lot. So basically the estimations are, and that's what's going on. And in terms of fraud, there's a lot of ways to make ad fraud. A good example I tell everybody is when, I don't know if you have go into a porn website. I'm never, but I'm not a big fan of it. Okay, but my friend over here, he comes a lot of that websites. And what's happening there, there's a lot of mini windows opening in the back, created an impression of another site.
Right.
So that impressions are put in front of an advertiser with a nice front office saying like, hey, this is a good publisher that has a lot of impressions that are coming from sources that are not correctly, they're not real, and it boosts your traffic so they can sell ads in that site. So
Right.
this is one of the kinds of ad frauds that's going on in the world. There's the clickbait, clickjacking. There's the bots that is very
Yes.
important. But there's a lot of ways to make fraud, and there's people getting money of this that are not adding any value to the chain.
And almost corrupting the industry, right? And
Yeah.
making everyone else feel bad.
Yeah.
And it really
It's
interesting.
brands, agencies, and publishers are losing money to criminals that
Yeah.
are getting this money.
Yes, and I mean I know ad fraud is worth about $7 billion, isn't it?
Yeah.
A year or something
Yeah, a
ridiculous
year.
like that, which is crazy. Do you think in terms of measurements? Do you think you obviously said trying to measure everything is really difficult, which leads to people maybe kind of concealing certain data? What does measurement in the online world look like? Do you think kind of going forward? What
Sure.
should advertisers realistically look for?
Yes, so measure what matters the most. So that depends on the advertiser. So I would like separate in two ways. So the one is ROI. If you want to make sales out of your ads, measure ROI and invest and do everything out of that KPI. But if you're looking for branding, the most important measure is the attention. Like attention is what people want to see. It's hard to get attention right now. It's a very scarce resource on
Yes.
people. So measure attention, and there's this company called Mode who measure attention metrics, and they do it pretty well for branding.
Okay, interesting. And we think in terms of trying to ensure that the advertiser understands everything the publisher does and the agency, is it a case, we've seen some cooperatives between publishers, do you think there's an opportunity for a cooperative between the agency, the media owner and the advertiser, and then potentially someone like an Admetricks?
Yeah, the thing is, what happens is everybody tries to point the blame. So advertiser say, hey agency, you're doing the job wrong because there's people stealing from my budget. The agency goes to the publisher and say, hey, you're putting me in sites that I don't want to be, and I'm paying you.
Yes.
So everybody's trying to tell the other what they're doing wrong. And the thing we should do, as you said, is be collaborative and say, okay, we have a problem as an industry. We want to fight together to solve it and advance. When you know this information, there's most way to collaborate.
Right.
But it's a challenge because everybody stands on their own feet and they wanna do their job.
Yes, and where do you think we will be in 12 months' time? At the present moment, LATAM, it's got slightly better, hasn't it, in terms of where transparency and ad fraud is? But what do we think we need to do as an industry to take us to that next step to kind of begin to eradicate more fraud and more transparency?
Sure. So I believe in progress rather than going to the final step. So I believe the progress we can do right now is stop selling impressions, stop selling clicks, stop selling that kind of video views, and just buy viewability. That's one of the standards that's going on. It's not perfect, but it's something that is measured, and it's real, an opportunity to see the ad. So I believe a good progress for the next year would be every publisher and every agency and brand changing the ad currency to impression, clicks, video views to viewability.
Got you. Okay, no, it's been a very insightful conversation, Felipe. I
Sure.
like it. And what does success look like for you at an event like this? What's good? What are you looking to achieve?
We want to meet people.
Yes.
That's the most important thing. We want to get noticed.
Yes.
To tell everybody that we are doing things, and we want a more transparent industry. Like, we are a third party that wants everybody to work together in a collaborative way so they can make more money and also we can make more money.
Fabulous. Well, thank you very much, Philippe.
Yeah.
Good talking to you.